Hey everybody, welcome back to the warbossfitz channel, and today we are going to be looking at a full conversion of Grimdark Future down to 6mm. Now I've been racking my brain trying to figure out how I was going to pull this off, and it turns out there's a couple people who have done it already. I was trying to reinvent the wheel. There's a few different options when you want to go small, and we're going to try out one of them today called Tiny GF for Grimdark Future. In order to find these rules, you want to go to the one-page fan wiki that I have up right now and go down to fan content. And inside fan content, Grimdark Future, we have Horde Mode, Apocalyptic Games, Tiny GF, Advanced Factions, Dawn of War, Battlefields, Mech Warrior, Competitive Redesigns. So today we're going to be doing Tiny GF. And once you click on that, it will give a short description of what it is and then a link. Click on that link, send you to a Google Drive, and this is where you can get the rules for it. So I've already downloaded Tiny GF rules, and here they are. 2 pages or 1 page, double-sided. So we'll go over this a little bit first to show some of the changes to Grimdark Future that they had to make. The first change we come to is the objectives. It looks like they have it set for progressive scoring constantly, and then the game lasts 5 rounds, and whoever has the most victory points wins. Next is detachments. Before the game starts, form as many detachments as desired, each composed of 1 to 5 units plus any transports. Detachment members must stay within 8 inches of all other members during the game, so you can take multiple units, turn them into one unit, as long as they're all within 8 inches. They all activate at once. Activation says you're going to activate a detachment, and then your opponent gets to activate a detachment. Something we're used to in regular one-page rules. So then I'm going to zoom in over here on this little chart showing what the actions are. Hold actions, you can move 1 inch, you can attack, and it's +1 to hit. Advance 6 inches and you may attack. Assault 9 inches, may only attack at point blank range. Sprint at 12 inches, and you can't attack. There's 2 types of weapons they have in the game. The ones with a range count as a ranged attack, and the ones without a range count as a point blank attack. In other words, those are your close combat weapons. It goes over attacking, it goes over line of sight. Next we go to weapon profiles, which is what I just explained, range and point blank range weapons. Point blank range weapons have a 2-inch range, so yes, it is just another word for your close combat weapons. Then we have counter attacks. Whenever you are charged into point blank range, you can activate your detachment as well that is getting charged. What that means is that you can move up to 2 inches. The enemy fights you, and then you fight back. And at the end of that fight, both of the detachments are treated as activated. And then the attacked player, the one that got charged, will have the next activation. A little talk about cover terrain, difficult terrain, and impassable terrain. Now into the special rules. They have a few different ones. Transports, models with carry capacity or cargo X. Because transports and the units in the detachments activate at the same time, there's some verbiage here on what happens whenever stuff gets out of the transport, because it's all one activation. So embarking and disembarking, you can use 1 inch of movement to get out, and then the rest of your movement after that. And then when you embark or disembark, you may not take a sprint action. So the furthest you're going to be able to get is 9 inches minus the 1, so 8 inches is the furthest movement, so you're still going to be in coherency with the transport if you move as fast as you possibly can. And here is a rule that if the transport is destroyed with the unit still inside of it, any wounds that spill over or are left over after the transport is destroyed are dealt to the models on the inside. I think that's a nice, elegant way, a simple way to make that work. There's a couple other caveats to it, but we're already getting a little long here. So model abilities, there's aircraft, and it looks like they are running off of the old style aircraft rules, which is fine. Capacity X, where they can transport X infantry models, and Cargo X, where they can transport X vehicle models. Yes, it does break down between infantry and vehicles in the army lists. We'll go over those in a minute, because I got 2 different army lists. Colossal stuff if you're using stuff that's really big. Hero, this model provides a +1 bonus to its detachment's quality checks. Sort of the same idea I was going on. It looks like they've already implemented it here. Ignore wounds X. When this model will take a wound, roll dice on an X or more. The model does not take a wound. It's kind of like an invulnerable save, or a save after the save, or regeneration. Large, this model counts double for its capacity. I have a few of those in the army. Nimble, if this model is at least 12 inches away, apply a -1 penalty to hit. So nimble is the same verbiage to it that stealth used to have. Psychic X, that's caster. Regeneration, scout, slow, stealth, teleport strike. It takes the place of ambush. You can deploy more than 6 inches from all enemy models, and you are limited to holds or advanced actions for this activation. Very fast, it advances 10, 15, and 20. And then under weapon abilities, AP is the same. Anti-tank, it cannot shoot at infantry models. Impact is the same. Indirect, the same. Lock-on is the same. Reliable, same. Rending is the same. Short range, this is just the rewording of close combat attacks. So that is it. That is the 2 pages of a tiny GF. Let's take a look at the lists I made. So here is the Armageddon list, or this is the Human Defense Force list. I have 2 units of combined cavalry squads. They come in units of 2. So it's going to be 2 units of 4. Then I have 2 infantry platoons. Each of those has 4 infantry squads, and then a command section in there, giving them hero for the +1 to the quality tests, 2 ogre squads. And this is where we can see these are large, slow, and what we are going to see a lot of is toughness +1. So these guys effectively have tough 2 on them, but there's no way you could do that inside of the army builder. So he wrote the rule tough +1, meaning these each have 2 toughness each. Then we have 2 artillery platoons, again with the toughness +1. 3 battle tank platoons. 1 is a tank destroyer. The other 2 are just cannons and laser cannons. Again, they all have toughness +1 with a 2-up defense. And then we have enough heavy infantry vehicles to carry it all, plus 2 units of 2 VTOL gunships. Let's take a look at what it looks like on the board. So this is it. We have 1 detachment. It's going to be all of our planes, and then we have our 2 infantry platoons here with their heavy fighting vehicles. We have our Ogryn squad with their heavy APCs, artillery, our tank grouping, and then cavalry. So I think what we are going to do, because we can split stuff up now, the different detachments, we're going to do cavalry, artillery, the anti-tank platoon, the cannon platoon, and then we are just going to group all of this together into one big, massive infantry push. So that would be 1, 2, 3 units and all their associated transports. Let's take a look at the orc list I made. Here we go. Tiny orc marauders, ultra bosses. They each have twin carbines, short ranged, which means it has no minimum range, so this can be shot at 12 inches and also be used in close combat with energy claws. We got bad shot like all orcs do. Ignore wounds on a 5, so after defense it has pretty much a regeneration on it. Slow, toughness 3, and toughness +1. So altogether we have 4 units of ultra bosses. They're all going to be toughness 4. 1, 2, 3 units of orc bikers, because I love my orc bikers. Bad shot, fast impact 1, toughness +1. And they all have 3 shots apiece. Close combat weapons, and then each stand is rocking an energy claw for 2 attacks AP2. A unit of orc specialists, all with flamers. 2 groupings of orc troopers with energy claws, pistols, and swords, toughness +1. And then we got a ton of trucks to carry everybody. 4 mini copters. These are agile, meaning they're going to have stealth, flying, and very fast. A battle rig to carry our bosses. 2 units of gun rigs. And then 4 fighters. So this is them on the board. We have our 4 fighters here. They're going to be 1 unit. Our bikers are going to be another unit. Gun rigs, they're all going to be together. Like that. Copters are going to be together. And then we're going to have a 1 orc trooper unit with the specialists. And another orc trooper unit with the ultra bosses. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units versus Armageddon's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. So it's pretty much even there. Let's take a look at the board real quick. Here we are. We have a little bit of a city going on. One objective there, an objective out in the middle here, and an objective there. I'm going to go ahead and set everything up and come back when it's done. So here is the deployment. We have the artillery. Then we have all of our APCs, our tank battalion, cavalry, anti-tank platoon, and then all the flyers over here. And then for the orcs, we have the fighters at an angle, one detachment of troops, the bikers, our gun rigs, another detachment of troops with the specialists. They're going to go fight in the city, along with the minicopters who have flying. They could just go right over everything. So that seems to be the place for them to be. So I don't have the fun Grimdark Future dice roller, so we're going to have to use dice right on the screen. So here we go. Got some green orc dice. I got some black imperial dice. Let's see who is going to go first. And first up, it is going to be the orcs. Let's see how this works. We're going to start off first with this unit. It is just going to go forward 12. We're going to do the sprint action to there. Next, we have our infantry fighting vehicles over here. We can go up to 16. So they are all going to end up over this direction like that. Next, the orc bikers are going to come up to support that unit there. Next, the tank platoon is going to move forward 12 to there. Next, we're going to use the gun rigs, and they are going to go forward 8 inches because they are fast to there, and then we're going to check line of sight over to those tanks there. Yep, we got it. Now check range. Yep, everybody's in range. First, we're going to use our 18-inch RPGs, hitting on a 5 for 1. And that weapon is AP2 against defense 2 of the tanks. So looking for a 4 better. Yep, they save it. Next, the huge cannons off of the gun rigs. 2 shots apiece, AP3 for 2 hits, saving on a 5. So we got 1 that went through. Toughness +1. One of these is going to take 1 wound. And we're going to take this little red dice and make it smaller, put it right next to it. 1 wound on 1 tank. There we go. Okay, these models are acting all kinds of funky. So I am going to switch out the fighters. I will be right back. There we go. Much better. So now we're going to activate these. Put them down 35 inches away, right behind the orc bikers, and they're going to open up on them. So each of them has 3 attacks AP1. They're going to be hitting on a 5. So it'll be 1. It's only 2 hits. Okay. Not nearly as lethal as I thought it was going to be. Orc bikers save on a 3, so AP1 will look for a 4. Yeah, we lose 1. But they are toughness 2, so we're going to take our little dice over there, put it over here, there we go. And then they have anti-tank weapons, laser cannons, 1 attack apiece at AP3. They can't shoot at infantry, so they got to shoot over here at these guys on a 5 for nothing. Okay, can't really argue with that. The orcs are going to answer back with their fighters. We got to go 36 or 30. We have to go between 30 and 36. So we're going to go here. And you know what? We're going to fire at their gunships. 2 attacks apiece at 12 inches. 3 of them each. Oh, we're going to take a step back. I missed the rocket pods. 2 apiece at AP2. So it'll be 8 more shots. Hitting on a 5. 2 more hits. AP2, saving out of 5. 2, so that means 1 pike is going to get destroyed, and we move that wound over there. Okay, now we're good. Orc fighters have 3 twin machine guns, so it's going to be 6 shots. Oh wait, they're aircraft, so we can't use those here. We're at minus 12 inches. That still applies in this game. So we'll go ahead and fire at the tank battalion there. So it's going to be 24 shots hitting on a 5 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh. And then saving on a 2. 1. So we are able to take out that 1 damaged tank. Okay. Cavalry, we're going to go and move them to right about there. Our orc vehicles here, they're going to try to move into the city. So let's start the movement. So that's as far as the trucks can get. Now let's go ahead and get the boys out. We have to be within 8 inches of the furthest back truck. So yeah, that puts us, we can cover this whole objective. All right. So there we go. We got the boys up front. We got our specialists back here. This is firmly in orc hands. Next will be the battle tank platoon with the anti-tank guns. 30 and 36 inch range. They are not gonna have to move, I don't think. Yeah, all the trucks and stuff are within 30 inches. So it is 4 shots each at AP3 hitting on a 5. Alright, we have, well, that's cocked. Let's see if we can get it out. Yep, so we got 4 hits against the truck, saving on a 6. No, so that is 2 to kill the truck, and then 2 more spillover. So bang, bang, that's gone. And then our orc boys, they only have, well, they have toughness +1. So 2 takes 1 guy out, and then we have 1 squad just drops right there. All right, so that's how that works. Last activation for the orcs. Here we have our mini copters. They have flying, so they ignore everything, and they are very fast. They can go 10 and shoot, or 20 and just move that far. So they're gonna go over here and hide amongst the buildings. So I'll hide a little bit better than that. There we go. They're going to hide right there. So hopefully they don't get shot up. The last activate for all of turn 1 is the artillery tank platoon, 36 inch range, 2 shots, AP1, ignores cover and indirect. They're going to fire into those orc boys there. So 12 shots on a 5. We got 1, 2, 3 hits. AP1 to the orc boys defensive of 4, so saving on a 5. Fail all 3. So 1, 2, and 1 point of damage. Okay, so that brings us to the end of turn number 1. A lot of shooting, not much killing though. So let's see what happens on turn number 2. The orcs are going to get to go first. Alright, I forgot to count objective, so it's going to be 2 for the orcs. I got this great big dice here. 2 to 0. Alright, first activation, we're going to have these orc boys charge into all the APCs over there. So we can go 9 inches. Right, so a grand wah was called. Here we have all the orc boys here in the fight, and 2-inch range. That is going to be, yeah, everyone's going to be able to fight for the orcs. Every one of the bases has a pistol and sword and an energy claw. So we're going to start off with a pistol and sword, 14 attacks, hitting on a 4. Yeah, because this is in close combat. Shooting would not apply here. For quite a few hits. These are all going to be AP1. And the IFV is defense 3, so look for a 4 to save. For a total of 6. So that'll be 1, 2. Then the unit inside, 1, 2. For 4, 5, 6, and then we get 1 unit out. So they'll be right there. And then we have 7 more attacks at AP2. Hitting on a 4. For 3. Saving on a 5. 2 more. So that is going to take out another fighting vehicle and not kill the guys inside, but they're just going to get out right there. So they didn't put in their rule sheet any changes to morale, so I'm going to assume it's going to be the same. We are not going to attack back because we want to get out and shoot at those guys next turn. We got a 2. Alright, so we have the command section out here. They have Tactician where they can re-roll 1 dice per round, And he's also giving them, it's going to be quality 3 to pass. He still fails it, so they are all going to be stunned. Then I gotta move all the boys back by an inch. So there we go. I don't know if I did that right, because looking at the rules here, I have to use a hold action to unstun. I can move 1 inch, and I may attack with +1 to hit. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do hold. We're gonna spend the 1 inch of movement to get everybody out of the transports, and then we're gonna shoot with +1 to hit. So I don't know if I'm doing that right, but it sounds like getting pinned might not be a thing. So let's get them out. Okay, so we are out. Again, I'm not sure if I'm doing this right. If anyone has experience playing Tiny GF, put down in the comments if I'm screwing this up. We are going to go ahead and shoot all of our guns over there. So it's going to be all the fighting vehicles, all the troops, and then I moved the trucks back up over here because they were outside of coherency. So I figured they'd have to move up, but because we did a close assault, they couldn't partake in it. So let's go ahead and get the dice together for this. So we still have 4 of our command section bases. Those all are shooting at a 4 with AP1. For 3 hits. Looking for a 5 to save. So nope, there's 3. We're going to go put those over here to keep track. 6 attacks with the rest of the troops on a 5. For 2 hits. AP nothing, saving on a 4. Ooh, there's 2 more. Ogres have 2 shots apiece, so that's 4 more shots. Hitting on a 5. For 2 more. Saving on a 4. 1 more there. Then we got 5 IFVs. They each have 2 weapons with AP1 and 1 weapon with no AP. So we're going to head to no AP for 5 shots. On a 5. Nothing. Then we got all the AP1s on 5. We got 2 there. Saving on 5. Neither of those. So all together, it's going to be 8 wounds to the boys. So let's go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That'll just keep jumping as we go on. So we are down to that. All right, we're really cutting down the orc numbers. Now it is the orcs activation. We're going to go ahead and activate the fighters and go 30, between 30 and 36. There we go. And we're going to fire down at the artillery tank platoon. Once again, 24 shots. Hitting on a 5. We got some cocked dice. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. Then roll 1, 2, 3, 4 again. 0 cocked. Really? Okay, well there's 2. For that many so far, then I could have, oh, it worked itself out. Okay, so it's 7 hits, save, and on a 3. Or 1, 2, I did it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 go through. Toughness +1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. We got a wound right there. That seemed to work out pretty good. Next, we're going to activate the cavalry unit, and they are going to be close enough to hit the orcs right there. So we have 8 bases. They all have impact of 1. So here we go. 8 dice hitting on a 2. 6 hits. Saving on a 3. So there's going to be 3 right there. So 1, 2, 3. And they all have 1 attack with their carbine. So 8 more attacks on a 5. For 2 more. Take 1 wound. Okay, the orc bikes are going to activate and attack back. So the orc bikers, they have 1 attack base and then 1 attack with energy claws. I don't know why it's showing up as A2, AP2 on there. Looking back at the list, 2 times twin miniguns, 2 times close combat weapons, and energy claws, but there's 2 models. So I'm going to assume that's just supposed to be 1 and 1 for each base. So we have 9 orc bikes fighting back on a 4. This will be the AP nothing. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. Saving on 5. They save. They saved 3 of them, so there's a 1 wound so far. And then 9 at AP 2. Yes. So get rid of our misses. And then save it on a 6. For 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Orc bikers need to make a morale test. If they're using this dice, then they're going to pass. Alright. So all these guys back up an inch. They're activated. They count as activated, but it's still going to be the orc's turn. We're going to go ahead and get the boys out. This is what I like to call a mess. We're going to start off with the ultra bosses with their twin carbines, all short ranged, hitting on a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we have another weird sideways cocked one. 7 hits. AP nothing, saving on a 5, right? Yep, AP nothing. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 so far. Now they all have 2 attacks with the energy claw, so that will be 8. Hitting on a 4. 1, 2, 3 hits. AP2, saving on a 6. So there's 3 more there. So that's 7 so far just from them, and there's only 5 left. So that cavalry squad, cavalry platoon detachment is just going to go away, and we killed the orc trooper. We're going to put him back. Alright, so we're going to kind of clean this up a little bit. There we go. For my own peace of mind, everything is kind of close together. Okay, well, there we go. Alright. Next, the tank platoon. We're going to go to there and fire down into those orc boys. So we got to split the fire here. The cannon's going to go into the boys. The laser cannons have to go into the transports because they are anti-tank. So 10 shots to the boys on a 5. 2 hits. Ooh. Saving on a 6. That's going to be dead group of boys. And now we have our anti-tank rounds. 5 shots. Hitting on a 5. 2 hits. Saving on a 6. Yep. So boom, there goes another truck. Orc shooting time. We're going to take our gun rigs. We're going to go forward 8. And fire into those tank platoons. 8 shots with huge cannons on a 5. Ooh. We got 4 hits. AP 2 on those. No, AP 3. So looking for 5. So they pass 2. That's still enough to take out one of them. And then they all have the RPGs 1 shot apiece. On 5. There's 2. AP2 looking for 4. 1 wound. Okay. So there we go. There's the wound marker. And then all these dice get to go back to their home over there. Okay, Imperial shooting time. We're going to have our battle tank platoon, the ones with the anti-tank stuff. They're going to fire over here into, well, it's going to be the battle rig and then the trucks. 12 shots on a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. AP 3, so we're looking for a 6. 1, so they lose 4. So a tough 3 is going to be the battle rig, and then 1 wound on that truck. Orc's turn. We got the copters. They are going to go out to about there. Their gun has 18-inch range. That's going to be enough to fire at the APCs because they can't shoot the troops because their guns are anti-tank. 8 shots hitting on a 4. For 4. AP2 defense 3 looking for a 5. We get 2, so that is going to be toughness 2. Boom. That one gone. Alright, next we're going to use the VTOLs, and I just noticed the VTOLs don't actually have the aircraft rule. So they are These are very fast. They go 10 and still shoot. They are going to go over here, something like that. They're going to fire their anti-tank rounds here, and then they're going to fire their anti-infantry rounds into the bikers again. So we're going to start off with the anti-tank rounds. They are going to be hitting on a 5 for AP3 for nothing. Okay, let's go ahead and do the 2 guns that are AP1 into the bikes. On 5. We got 1, 2, 3. Look for 4. 2 wounds go through. Bang. And then we have 8 shots AP2. Hitting on 5. For 2, 3. Oh, for 2. Saving on 5. Oh no, bang. A group of bikers down. Lastly, for this turn, we have the artillery tank platoon is going to fire its shaker cannon at this orc detachment here. So it is going to be 8 shots AP1. Hitting on 5. For 2. Saving on 5. Nope, that's another squad of orc troopers gone. So that is going to be the end of turn number 2. The orcs still have 2 firmly in their control. And the Imperials have yet to get on the board. Let's see what's going to happen on turn number 3. Orc's going to go first. We're going to have the Orc Ultra Bosses and the rest of the platoon charge up the hill at these up here. There we go. Within 2. All the boys are within 2. 12 attacks with AP nothing with the short range stuff from the Ultra Bosses hitting on a 4. Reroll that 1 cocked dice. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4 hits there. Saving on a 2. They're good. Across all of them, it's 14 attacks with the claws hitting on a 4. Ooh, that's much better. Saving on a 4. Save, 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 save for a total of 6 there. And then 12 more attacks with just their base attacks on a 5 at AP1, or a 4 at AP1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more hits. Saving on 3. 2 more. For a grand total of 8 that went through. That's going to be enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, the Imperials over here, they're going to push in and assault this detachment. So we got the ogres, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 close enough to attack. These 2 are out of it. 2 attacks AP2 from the Ogren. That's going to be 1 hit. That's going to be 1 dead orc. 4 overcharged rifle shots AP1 because they are short range. They all hit. Full shots AP1 because they are short range. They all hit. And that's going to be 2 more. And then 8 at AP nothing from everybody. For 2 hits. Saving on 4. For 1 more. So that is 4 orcs going to go down. And then we're going to fight back. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, it is down to just the specialists that don't actually have a close combat weapon. So they are not going to fight. They are going to go back to where they were. That's going to be the end of that activation. Wait, we got to roll a morale test. A 5. Yes, the orcs are going to be sticking around. Orcs turn. We have the fighters who are actually aircraft. We are going to go this way to there, right next to those fighters. Since they don't have the aircraft rule, we can shoot at them. 24 attacks, hitting on a 5. So we got 6 hits, saving on a 2. They're going to be all good. All the deck just pings harmlessly off of the armored canopies and stuff. But again, because they are not aircraft, they can do this. They are very fast, so we are going to, about 10 for everybody would be about there. They're going to fire down into the gun rigs with everything they got. 4 shots AP3. 1 hit. 7 out of 6. Nope. One wound there. 8 shots AP2. 4. Again, just one. Saving on a 6. Hey, they save it. And then this many shots AP1. 4 hits, saving on a 5. 2 more, so bang. Move that over. There we go. Our fast bikes are gonna go 16 to right there. No shooting from them. Battle tank platoon, they are going to go 6 this way. And then they are going to fire at the gun rigs over there. Make sure we're in range. Furthest range is 20. Shortest range for them is 30. So it's going to be 12 shots to those gun rigs. Hitting on a 5. For 3 hits. AP3, saving on a 6. No, 3 more, so it'll be boom, boom. Morale test for the gun rig. It's going to pass. Okay, stunned over here. We're going to unstun using a hold action, and then we can still shoot. So we're going to shoot right here. Not going to move at all. So we got 5 shots from the trucks on a 5. Nothing. 6 shots from the boys on a 2 because it is reliable. 5 hits. AP nothing. Saving on a 5. So we lose 2. So that's just 1 infantry squad, 2 infantry squads. There we go. Last action for the Imperials is the artillery platoon, and it is going to fire into the trucks and the boys. 8 shots on a 5. For 3. Saving on a 5. They take 3, so we're gonna go boom, boom. Put that over there. There we go. Lastly, for the boys, we got this mini copter squad. We fly, so we're going to end up there, and then we're going to fire down into the IFVs. That will be 8 shots on 5. Ooh, man, the orcs, they are just spiking some of these shots. 6 hits. AP2 saving on 5. They take 2, which means 1 more IFV goes down. So that takes us to the end of turn 3. We still have 2 in the hands of the orcs, putting them to 6. But now this flyer squad over here has that, putting them on the board with 1. All right, moving on into turn number 4. Imperials get to go first. They are going to take this anti-tank platoon and move again 6 this way and fire into the gun rig. It's all anti-tank shots, otherwise they would be shooting here or here. So they got 3 hits, AP3, looking for a 6. Nope, 2 5s, bang. Gun rigs are gone. In response to that, the orc boys, they are going to get up and move 6 inches. They're going to launch everything into these battle tanks. Which, because most of the boys just have close combat weapons, it's going to only be 14 shots, 12 military bosses, 2 from the trucks on... Oh, I gotta break that up. 2 of them on a 5. Nope. Oh, wait, they were all on a 5 because the orcs got bad shot. 1, 2, 3 hits, looking for a 2 to save. Okay, they're all good. VTOL unit is going to move to there and fire into those orc boys. You got 4 shots that have to go into trucks for 1 hit. AP3 looking for a 6. That's not a 6. Bang, that was the wounded truck. And then the rest into the boys. 8 shots with rocket pods for 2 hits. These save on a 6. 1. Then 12 shots and everything else, AP1. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. Saving on a 5. Ooh, only 1. Bang. Okay, orcs turn over here. We got the specialist in the truck's gonna fire here again. Okay, all of the AP0 on a 5. 1 hit. Save. Command section on a 4. Ooh, all 4. AP1. That's going to be 2 dead specialists. And then all of the IFVs get to fire at the trucks. 3 rifles. Nothing. 6 AP1 on a 5. Oh, that was so close to a Yahtzee there. Saving on a 5. So 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so it's just those trucks left. Let's do a morale test. They're going to fail, so they're going to be stunned as the game zooms me out. Got our copters to right there. Hitting on a 5. 4, 1. And takes the wound. Next is the last activation for the Imperials. Our artillery tanks are going to fire into the trucks there, or, well, yeah, let's fire into the trucks just to finish them off. 8 shots on 5. We got 3 hits. AP1, saving on 5. 2. So we'll take this one off. Okay, so that's it for the Imperials. And then the Orcs just have their fighters, which are going to come back for the artillery tanks. So it's going to be 24 shots again. Hitting all 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. Saving on 3. Save them all. And last but definitely not least, the Orc Bikers. We're going to go to here, and we're going to shoot into the anti-tank platoon. It's got to be 27 shots. Hitting on 5. 7 hits, saving on 2. And they're going to be good. Okay, once again, Orcs get 2. Imperials get 1. For a score of 8-2. Going into turn 4. Imperials get to go first. These flyers are just going to go like 19 something, so that will be their objective. Orc boys. Go there to take that. Anti-tank platoon. They're just going to go there to contest it. Planes back over to, well, planes to there, and they're going to fire on those planes. 24 shots. 12 hits this time, saving on a 2. We got 2 1s, and these guys have toughness +1, so that will be one of them gone. Over here, the Imperials are going to push in. Here's all of the no AP shots. They got 3 hits, saving on a 4. That's going to do it for that truck. This unit's going to continue hounding those APCs. 8 shots on a 5. 2 hits. Saving on a 5. 1, so that'll be the one that it was wounded is gone. Artillery from over there is going to fire at these Orc boys. Hitting on a 5. We got 1 hit. 1 fail, so somebody takes a wound. Orc bikers again going to come forward there, and they are going to try to fire at the tanks again on a 5. For this many hits, saving on a 2. Ooh, one of them takes a wound. So the end of that turn is going to be 2 Imperials for 4. For nothing for the Orcs. Going into turn 5, the last round. Imperials first. The artillery is going to fire over here at the Orc boys. Hitting on 5. Here we got 2 hits. 1 goes down. That's going to be the one that was wounded. Then we're going to have the Orc Bikers. They're going to charge into those tanks. There we go. Good enough. The Orc Bikers all have 1 attack, and then it's going to be 1 attack with Energy Claws. So 7 hits, AP nothing. For 4, saving on 2. Ooh, there's 2 more wounds, so it'll be 1 and 1. Then they have the same amount of attacks with Energy Claws. 3 hits. Saved them all. Alright, at this point, because there are 2 units here that are contesting that, even if these guys turned around and shot there, that's not going to make any difference. These guys can't take that objective, and yeah, worst case, that would be contested. So that will go to, we'll say it's not, that'll go to 6 to 8 for an orc victory. So that was Tiny GF. You can check this out if you go to the one-page rules user wiki underneath user content. Let me know how you like it. After just playing one match with it, I can see how it does streamline the game of Epic down to grimdark future levels. And then let me know if you want to see a bigger game so I can start putting in some of the fun stuff like Titans. But for now, that's going to do it for me tonight. I hope you guys are having fun playing OPR wherever you are, and I'll talk with you later. Bye-bye.